Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve day 22 problem of this month on LeetCode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. Problem number 3362, zero array transformation 3. So let's read the problem statement first. You are given an integer array nums of length n and a 2D array queries where queries of I has two values L and R. Okay, so nums array given to us and queries given to us, right? And queries are having two values L and R. Okay, each queries of I represents the following action on nums. We have to decrement the value at each index in the range L to R in nums by at most 1. Okay, the amount by which the value is decremented can be chosen independently for each index. Okay, so we have choice, right? So but at most 1, we can also use 0 also, right? No issues, right? Okay, a 0 array is an array with all its elements equal to 0. We have to return the maximum number of elements that can be removed from queries such that nums can still be converted to a 0 array using the remaining queries. If it is not possible to convert nums to a 0 array, then in that case we have to return -1. Alright, so now let's see the constants first. Okay, so constant size is very large, 10 to the power 5. Okay, nums of I value is also from 0 to 10 to the power 5, and queries dot length is also very big, right? Okay, and queries I dot length. Okay, so only two values we have, L and R, and L and R value exist from 0 to nums dot length. Okay, so this is important point, right? So see here, nums size is 3. So here, then if you see here, num size is 3, right? So here you, if you see L and R value, both are from 0 to less than 3. Okay, so here see 0 2 0 2 1 1, only we are using this. Okay, so and here whenever nums size is 3, okay, so we have values from 0 to less than nums dot length. All right, so this is important, right? Okay, now see this example number 1. Okay, so nums value is this and queries is this, right? So here if you do one thing, if you apply this 0 to, okay, so here you are going to decrement the value by -1. Here also you are going to decrement the value by -1. Okay, decrement the value at each index in the range at most 1. Okay, 0 or at most 1. So here I'm not going to decrement. Okay, so this is done for this. Okay, and same way, if you apply this also here, so here you are going to decrement by 1, and here also you are going to decrement by 1. All right, so in the end, there is still no use, right, for this one, because my nums array is going to become 0 0 0, right? So after removing queries 2, that is this one. Okay, this is 0 1 2. Okay, so after removing queries 2, nums can still be converted to a 0 array. Using queries of 0, we have to decrement nums 0 and nums 2. Okay, nums 0 and nums 2 by 1 and nums 1 by 0. Okay, so here we can choose 0, right? And using queries of 1, we have decrement nums 0 and nums 2 by 1 and nums 1 by 0, right? So using these two queries, we can get this 0 array, right? And still we haven't used this one. Okay, so this is going to be our output, right? Okay, so we have to return the maximum number of elements that can be removed from queries. Okay, so only one can be removed from the query. Okay, here in this case, right? So that is going to my output. All right, so now how I'm going to solve this problem? Okay, so definitely I'm not going to check all the queries one by one and then implement the operations on nums. That is going to give me time limit exceed error. Okay, because queries dot length is also 10 to the 5 and nums dot length is also 10 to the 5. Okay, so if I do this, then I will get time limit exceed error, right? So I need to find a better way. Okay, so there is one approach, difference array, right? We have implemented a similar approach, I think, in first part of this problem, maybe zero array transformation 1 or 2, I think. So in that we have implemented that. Okay, numbers array difference, right? So we are going to use the same thing, right? So here you see this nums value. Okay, nums length is 3. Okay, so create one number line. Create one number line. This is your number line, right? So here we have values, nums length is 3. Okay, so let's create this as 0. Okay, this is 0. All right, and this is 1 value, this is 2 value. Okay, and this is 3 value, right? So now here if you see, this is the number line that you have created. Okay, so here in number line, okay, so if you are applying one operation, right, if you are applying any operation, you are decrementing the value by 1. Okay, so here if you see, if you apply any operation, you are going to decrement the value at each index with at most 1. Okay, this is what you are doing, right? So here let's suppose let's suppose you have this query 0 to 2. Okay, so that simply means that you are going to do -1 here, right? And then you are going to do -1 here, then you are going to do -1 here, right, until here, right? Okay, so can I write it like this? Instead of -1 -1 -1, can I write it like this? Do -1, start doing -1 from here, okay, and end doing this -1 here. Okay, I can also write like this, right? So that simply means here -1, so here you are not doing nothing. Okay, so -1 plus 0, so you are going to get -1. -1 plus 0, nothing is there, so -1. -1 plus 1, so here you are going to get 0. Okay, normal, right? No change, right? I can do like this, right? Okay, right. So here I'm calculating the difference, like here -1 and here +1. Okay, same way I can also do one thing here. Instead of writing -1 and +1, I'm going to use operations. Okay, so if I'm doing any operation here, so I will just write 1. Okay, here I'm not writing decrement, here I'm counting the operations, right? So if I'm doing any operation here, so 1, so here also I need to do the same operation. Okay, if the range is 0 to 2, so here also I need to do the same operation, here also I need to do the same operation, then here also I'm going doing the same operation. Okay, if I'm calculating the prefix sum, but here I don't have to do any operation, right? So here I'm going to write -1, right? So right now I'm not writing decrementing, I'm writing operations. Okay, operations. So if I'm doing any operation here, so 1 0 2, right? So here also I am doing the operation. Okay, so 1 plus 0, so 1 no operation here, 1 plus 0, 1 operation here, 1 plus -1, 0 operations here. Okay, there are no operations, right? So this is correct. Then 0 2 also I'm doing 1 1 1 operation, right? So I can also write it like this, right? Clear? Okay, so now what you need to do here, first, these are your numbers, right? 202. Okay, so 2 is available at this 0. Okay, at this 0 index, 2 is available at 0 index. Okay, this 0 is available at 1 index, and this 2 is available at this 2 index. Okay, 202. So this is nothing but one nums. I'm writing nums. Okay, nums, right? Now here what you need to do after that, so these are the queries, right? So first I need to check this. Okay, 0. So here we have two values starting from 0, right? 0 2 0 2. Okay, so do one thing here, sort these queries based on their starting point, based on the starting point. So this is already sorted, right? Already sorted. Okay, so we have to sort them based on their start site value, right? So these are already sorted. Okay, so now once this is done, then after that what you need to do here, okay, so this is your nums array. So here 0. Okay, so create one heap, okay, in max heap. So 0. Okay, with 0, how many values are starting? Two values, right? So here these are the endpoints. Okay, and okay, so do one thing, add these two in your heap. Okay, create one max heap. Okay, let's say this is your max heap, right? So in this max heap you have to add this value. Okay, 2 and 2, right? 2 and 2. Okay, so whatever the greater value, that will come to the top. Okay, so we are going to do operations here on 0 index. Okay, at 0 index, but we have 2. Okay, so here I checked in the queries which I sorted first. So I check at 0. Okay, 0 is my starting now. So at 0, how many there are values, there are queries total in total. Okay, so there are two queries, right? This and this, right? So I just added the endpoints, okay, here, right? So now if I'm doing the operations, right, I have to return the maximum number of elements that can be removed. Okay, so here in order to do that, so if I'm doing this operation or if I'm doing this operation, tell me which is useful. Okay, this is starting from 0, this is ending at 4, and this is starting from 0, this is ending at 2. So this is more useful, right? With this I can decrement more values, okay, with this operation. Okay, single operation. because I have with this, okay, if I can I can with this, okay, 0 to 4, okay, you can understand like this. So 0 to 2, 0 to 4, you are decrementing more values, right? Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 here, okay. And with 0 to, or then you do with 2 to 3, okay, or then you do with 3 and 4, okay. Since we have to return maximum, right, we have to return the maximum number of elements that can be removed. So with this, if I am able to do more things, okay, then I can simply return all this now. I can simply return all this, right. So here I'm returning 1 2 3, these three I can simply return, okay. If 0 to 4, I can do all the things, right. So if I use this 0 to first, and then 2 to 3, then 3 to 4, then I have to just return one output, okay. That is bad, right. We need to return the maximum number of outputs, maximum number of elements that can be removed from the queries, okay. So here, that is why I'm using max heap, okay. So I'm storing the max element to the top, okay. So this is done, right. So now here, after that, here you have to, once this is done, then after that you have to check. So here, how many number of operations right now? There are no operations we did right now, there are no operations, okay. So we just know that this is our number line, okay. Here I'm writing the indexing 0 1 2 3, right, and here this nums are 2, okay. So right now we didn't do any operations right now, okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate the number of operations, right? Number of operations that I'm going to do. So how I'm going to do that? So here, first of all, initial value, I'm going to create one variable operations, okay? Operations, and I'm going to set that value to 0, okay? So right now, if you see, operation value is less than your this value, okay? 2, right? So that simply means I need two operations here, right? Okay, so operation value is less than 2 here, right? And here, check if your heap is empty or not. So heap is not empty, okay. So check, here you have to check if a heap is empty, right. And here you have to check the heap.peak element, okay. Heap.peak element, it should be greater than equal to the current I value. That's right now, okay. Current, then only you can decrement the values, right. If the heap.peak, okay, so here it is ending at 2, okay. So if it is ending at 2, that simply means that you can apply some operation here, okay. So if even if it is until here also, then also you can do some operations here, right. Okay, so this is a condition I'm going to check, okay. This is while loop. So what you need to do in that case, you have to increment the operations with 1, okay. So operation is going to become 1, okay. Increment the operation by 1, op is equal to op plus 1, right. And then you have to remove this, okay. You have to remove this, okay. You applied one operation here, right. Now here, okay, this is done. Now here, if you still see, still you only applied one operation, huh? So here 1 is again less than 2, okay. And heap is still not empty, right. And heap dot peak element is 2 is greater than I, okay. I is 0 only, okay. This is I value, right. So you can you are going to again increment the operation value 2, okay. So op becomes 2. Now 2 is less than 2, no, okay. So we applied two operations here, right. We applied two operations, right. So with these two operations, now we will satisfy this, okay. So here first it is going to become -1, then it is going to become 0, right. So this will be satisfied, right. Okay, so now here, okay, this is done, right. Now after that, once this is done, okay, so we applied all these operations. So here check if the operation value is still less than nums of I. No, operation value is still not less than I, okay. So that simply means that we have satisfied this condition. Now after that, we move to here, okay. We move to this condition, all right. So here at this position, okay, if you see, we have to fix this, okay. We have to fix this value at 1 index, okay. So value at 1 index we have to fix, right. So okay, so here just check, let's suppose this is your here how many queries we have processed. We have processed until here, okay. We have processed until here. Let's say this is J, okay, and I is moving here. Now we are checking this, right, and J is here. So we have processed these two, okay. So we have already added this, okay. All right, so now after that, here if you see J value, we have processed this also. Now J is going to move here, right. Okay, now here after that, if you see, J is at 2, okay. J is at 2 and I is at 1, okay. So we are not going to check this, we are going to check this, okay. So queries of J and 0, okay. So we are going to check this, right. We are going to check this queries of J of 0, okay. It is going to start from 1, right. 0 0 we already processed, right? And now we have to process this. Okay, j is here now, j is here. So here starting at 1. Okay, so starting at 1, and here also we are going to start from here now. My I is here, that's the means we are starting from here, right? So here at j what we have 1. Okay, just add this 1 here. Okay, this is maxip, so 2 is so here we are not going to do this now. 2 we already removed here. Okay, we do the 2 operations, right? So now we have added this 1. All right, for this. Okay, this is done. So we have added this one. Okay, so now after that, once this is done, then check here operations is 2. Okay, operation current value is 2. 2 is less than this value, nums of I value, nums of I 0, right? So no. Okay, so we don't need to do anything, okay, any operation here, right? Since 2 value operations is already more than the nums of 0 value. Okay, so we are not going to do anything. Now after that we move here. Okay, my I is moving here, right? So this j we have already processed. Okay, j is going to out of bound. Okay, so this we already processed. Now we are here. So here at this position, if you see, the operations value is 2. Okay, operation value is still 2 from last time, and 2 value is less than this 2. Okay, 2 is the number of operations that are required here. Okay, to make it 0, right? So 2 is less than 2. No, this is condition not also not satisfied, and then my I is going to reach here. Okay, so we have to stop. Okay, there is no value at this index. Okay, we are iterating here na? I first here, I here, I here. Okay, then there is no value here, we have to stop. And in the end, you see, still there is one element left in the heap. Okay, so just to return the size of this heap, that simply means that this is unused. Okay, so this is what you need to do, right? Okay, so now let's do one thing. Let's write the code. Okay, and once after writing this code, I will explain example 2. Okay, with the code. All right, so let me write this while loops here. So very simple code, only I think it will not take more than 25 lines. All right, so let's write the code. So first of all, what you need to do, you have to sort the array. Okay, so here you have to do arrays dot sort, and here queries, and here you have to write a comma b. Okay, so let's suppose there are 2 parameters. So how you're going to sort? So you have to sort based on the first index. Okay, the starting point, left point. Okay, so here I'm writing a of 0 minus b of 0, right? This is done. Okay, so once this is done, then create one priority queue, and here in the priority queue, what we are going to pass, we are going to pass the integers. Okay, and let's name it as heap new priority queue. Okay, so in Java by default it's main heap, so we have to change the order since we are going to use max heap, right? So here you have to write collections dot reverse order. Okay, that's it. All right, so this is done. Now after that, create one delta array. Okay, delta array, and here you have to create of size +1. Okay, so nums dot length +1. All right, this is done. Then here you have to calculate the operation. So int op is equal to 0 initially, then you have to run loop. Okay, int I is 0, I is going to iterate over the nums, and j is going to iterate over the queries, right? And here I is less than nums dot length, and here I plus plus. Now after that, here you have to operate the operations as operation is equal to operation plus the delta array value at I. Okay, delta array value at I. All right, so this is done. So now here, once this is done, then after that you have to check the starting point. Okay, at 0. Okay, nums of 0 we have to check now. So how many queries which are starting from 0? Okay, we have already sorted them, so you have to check that. Okay, so here j is less than queries dot length. Definitely we are not going to iterate or out of bound, right? So here queries dot length, and then queries. Okay, and here at 0, right? At 0 we have, so here j 0. Okay, if it is equal to I, then in that case you have to add the end point in the heap. Okay, heap dot offer, and you already know why we are creating the max heap, because we need a max value. Okay, max value at top, so we can remove the max number of queries, right, which are unused. So queries. Okay, and here j, and here you have to write 1, and then j, increment the value of j. That's it. Okay, this is one while loop that you have to do. And then after that, here inside this, run one more while loop. Okay, so now see if you need to do any operation. Okay, so here op less than, operations less than nums of I value. Okay, so if this is the case, so definitely we need to do some operations. And here check one base condition, like if your heap is not empty. Okay, if heap is not empty, okay, if heap is not empty, then check the topmost element in the heap. Okay, so heap dot peak element, it should be greater than equal to that particular index. Okay, right, only then we, then that, only then that particular index will be affected, right? Otherwise it will not take any effect, right? So here operations, in that case we have to increment the operations by 1, and then we have to operate the delta array. And here I have already told you, we need to, if we are doing the operations here, right, 1 1 1, here we have to do -1. Okay, at 2 plus 1. Okay, because here we are not doing any operations. So here I have explained this in the start only, right? So here heap dot call plus 1. Okay, here we have to just decrement the operation. Okay, we are not doing any operation, right? So this is done. All right, so this is done here. And here check, even if we apply all these things, so here if you still your operation value is less than the nums of I value, then in that case simply return -1. Okay, in that case your code, you have to return -1, because zero array we can't form, right? We can't form the zero array, right? So here you have to write return -1, and in the end, that's it. Okay, and in the end here this for loop ends, so here you can simply return heap dot size. Okay, that's it. All right, so now let's run the code and see if there are code issues. So yes, so here let's fix that. I is less than nums dot length. Okay, so here do one thing, nah? It should be comma, not semicolon. Let's run it again. So see, all the test cases has been accepted, right? Now let's submit it. So see, our solution is accepted, right? So here see what we are doing. So we have to do the same thing for this example number 2. Okay, so here first sort them based on the starting point. Okay, so your query is going to become 0 2, then it is going to become 1 3, then it is going to become 1 3, then it is going to become 1 2. Okay, once this is done, this is your first step. Okay, so arrays dot sort. Okay, then you have to create one priority queue. So create one priority queue, this is your priority queue, let's say. And then you have to create one delta array of nums dot length plus 1. All right, so nums dot length is 4, so 5 length delta array you have to create. Okay, so add 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, 4 index. Okay, so here this is 5 length, right? 5 length. Okay, and here you have 1 1 1 1. Okay, this is done, right? Okay, now after that, operations is equal to operation plus delta array at 0. So here initially by default all the values are 0 0 0, right? Okay, operations value, all the operations value are 0 0 0. All right, so here right now operations value is 0. Then here you have to check while j is less than query store length, and queries of j of 0 values I. Okay, so I is here, I is here. Okay, let's say I is equal here, and j is here. Okay, so here see, this is at 0 index, 0 1 2 3. Okay, this is 0 and this value is also 0. So do have to do one thing here, add this 2 here. Okay, and then your j is going to move forward. All right, j is going to move forward here, right? And now this value is 1. Okay, and this is 0. Okay, no, we are not going to do anything else. Okay, inside this, so after that your operations is less than nums of I. Okay, so op value is 0, and here how many we need? 1. Okay, at least one operation we need, right? So what you need to do here, so here this condition is satisfied, right? Op is less than nums of I, and heap is also not empty, and heap dot peak element, that is not equal to 2 is greater than equal to the value I, that is 0, right? So here you have to increment the operation by 1, and okay, so here you have to increment the operation by 1, and here delta array heap dot poll, so top element you are polling, so here 2, remove this, and in this 2 you have to add plus 1. Okay, so 2 plus 1 3, add 3, we have to decrement value by -1. Okay, so here you are going to update it to -1. All right, this is done. Okay, Now this is done. Now after that your eye is going to move to the next position. Your eye is going to move here. Okay, and here one check. Okay, op is less than, op is less than nums of I. Okay, so now op value is 1 and 1 is less than nums of I previous. Okay, so it was 1 only. No, so we don't have to return -1. Okay, again now we are going to check for the next I. Okay, I is incremented, so I is equal to 1, right? So now my I is 1 and here j for 1 we have values like 3 3 2. Okay, so 3 3 2. Okay, so we are going to add this, then this, okay, then this, because all are having the same starting point. Okay, this, right? So now once this is done, all right, so now here add this one value, right? So here check here. Okay, op is equal to o plus delta array of I. So this value is 0 but op is 1 previous time, so op is 1. All right, so here after that j is less than queries dot length, and here this is done. Okay, we have already added all the values in our heap. Then here op is less than 1 is less than nums of I. Tell me, 1 is less than nums of I? No. Okay, so we don't need to implement this. Okay, right? And then next time my eye is going to move here. Okay, here also we don't need to implement anything. 1 is less than 1. No. Then next time here, when my eye is going to reach to this, okay, 0 2 we already did now as part of this, right? Now when my eye reaches here, so here see op is equal to o plus delta of array I. So here value was -1. Okay, of delta array of I. So here now my op is going to become 0. Okay, op is going to become 0. Then here this will not be executed, right? We have already processed all the queries. Then here this step will be executed. Okay, so op is going to become 2 now. Okay, op is going to become 2. Okay, op is going to become 2. Op is going to become 2 now, and we are going to remove this and add 3 plus 1 4. We have to write -1, right? So this is what we need to do, right, in this step. Okay, so done, this is done, and then we have processed this. Then I is going to out of bound. Okay, and what is the size of this in the end? You have to just return the size, that is 2. Okay, that's it. So this is the output for your example number 2. Okay, so I hope that you guys are clear with this, right? Okay, so if you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in the comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.